Hey you guys, what's up? Just hopped on real quick. Just this video is mainly about, it's going to be really quick. I just wanted to hop on just to kind of give you a basis of what you need to know and understand when you're doing real estate, when you're starting your real estate journey, right? So in the beginning, you want to be a sponge. This is me. So let me back up. I have long-term rentals. Some people do short-term, some people do Airbnb, which is still short-term. Some people fix and flip, which means that what you're going to do is you're going to purchase a property, you're going to rehab the property, and then you're going to sell it back off. Some people do that. Some people rehab the property, hold it, and then rent it to tenants. Some people rent it as single occupancy, which is single room occupancy. I think it's SRO or something like that. Yeah. So depending on the type of structure or exit strategy that you want to be into, that's where you kind of figure that niche out. Niche. You know what I'm saying? You figure that space out where you want to, which avenue you want to go into. And so when I say the first thing that what I learned for me last year was I had to become a sponge. And I don't want to say last year. I want to say the last 2 years, because last year was, oh Jesus, we're not going to talk about 2024. But in 2023, that was that. 2025, that was a new year. I'm glad. But 2023 was the year that I started this process. Let's just say that. I had a roller coaster, but it worked itself out. Everything kind of came in together and everything worked out. What I learned from that process was you have to become a sponge. Shut your mouth, take your notepad out, and gather all the information that people are telling you. Listen to what they're saying and jot down what's important. Sometimes somebody will say one thing and it will trigger something that needs to be triggered in you. Then you be like, you grab it, and then you run with that one thing. When you having these conversations with people, that's called networking. You network. You ain't got to fake it till you make it, because that's what a lot of people try to act like, you faking it till you make it. No, what you're doing is you're networking. Being around people that have the same like mindset, and you're going to be around these people, be around real estate events, be around development events, you may have to pay to be in a room with some of these people. And as long as it doesn't break the bank, right, you're just having these rooms. But there are free programs. I know where I live at in Philadelphia, there are plenty of free programs. You have Jumpstart Germantown wasn't free, but they have some of the programs that are free. Then you have is it UDA or the BIA? The BIA. Some of these programs you have to pay for like certain memberships, but you can sometimes go to these jumpstarts these real estate events that they're having and be in there so that you can network. You have different, I don't know them all, but when you follow certain people, some people have, they all kind of intertwine with each other, and they all kind of have different like events, and you just go and you network, you get in contact with somebody, you let them know what you're doing. They say, oh, we sometimes get together on this day. Another program may get together. Y'all get together and just chat. When you talk, some people may have already been through some stuff that you have not been through. And what happens is you gain information. I may have went through a situation, like I had to go through a licensing situation that was a little difficult for me. But it gave me the fortitude to be able to help somebody else. When I told my story, then they understood, oh, I got to do X, Y, and Z. So you don't know how your situation that you might be going through, somebody else may have already went through it, and then they can give their story. Because one of the programs that I really did like, and I was with the guy, Ryan, what is his last name? I want to say it's the SPEC group, right? It's called SPEC. He's in West Philly. I cannot, his name, is it Ryan SPEC? Could be. I play too much. But Ryan is wonderful. So he's a part of the Jumpstart Philly that's inside of like Germantown area. And when I tell you, he does his his mentorship, because I'm in it, and I'll go. I haven't been in a minute, but I need to get back. But he'll have his at like a restaurant or something, and we'll all just be sitting there chatting and chewing, right? And you'll get people from all over that comes, and he brings in people sometimes, different maybe developers, or he'll bring in funding, or he'll bring in somebody that can give you some information that is knowledgeable. So that's why I really believe being a sponge, closing your mouth, listening to what these people are saying, bringing your notepad, jotting down what is important for you, what they're saying that something may trigger for you. Get cards, take your cards, and make sure you passing your cards out. If it's a flyer or whatever that you have, just take something to when people recognize you, they be like, oh, I remember you. And you can say, oh, yeah, you have my card. You know, you want to, I don't care if you have to, let me tell you something. This is what money was. Let me tell you what I did. Don't laugh at me, but I don't care if you do. So what I did was I have the Walgreens app on my phone. I created on Canva. Okay. Now I got a really nice picture that I took myself, but the picture was really nice. I had my daughters to take it. I created a card, and because it would have took too long to get sent to me, I took the picture of the card that I created. Don't laugh at me. I don't care. I took the card of the picture that I created. I don't know one in my bag. I'm gonna look real quick. I took that card and I sent it to Walgreens Printing, and I had them print out several of the cards, and it came back like photos, right? I probably should have got it a little bit more matte finish, but it was a little glossy, but nonetheless. And I cut the parts of the picture, like so it might have been like 3 or 4 on a picture or something like that, because it was like the way the sizing of it was, it wound up being a couple on one sheet. And I printed out a couple of those. They were really cheap. I might have paid no more than $5 or something like that. But I had a bunch of cards because I was able to cut the cards or whatever from off of the photos, the pictures, the picture photos. And I put those in I got my binder over there, but I don't want to reach. Let me see if I got it in my bag. I want to see if I got one in my bag. If I got one in my bag, I'm going to show you all. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. I laugh at myself. I do the book. Yep. Oh, look. Now, this one I had. This one I don't give out. Now, I had. So what I did was I cut it too short at the bottom. But this was, let me cover the address part, and I'm going to just cover this whole bottom part right here. But I'm going to just let y'all see it, that I literally, can you see it? Here you go. It's a nice picture of me. Let me see. Can you see it? Yes. I don't know if you can see it, because I know that it sometimes it be doing all that little crazy stuff. But what I did, like I said, you can see like it's the matte and all that other stuff like that. So it's a glossy finish. I mean, it's not matte. I apologize. It's a glossy finish. But this was a really nice picture of me when I had took that picture before, and it was my neighbor's house. Don't listen. I'm telling y'all. When there's a will, there's a way. It was my neighbor's house, okay? And my neighbor, he lived in, I think like Puerto Rico or somewhere, or Dominican Republic. And he bought that house there. Now, the house beforehand was completely not looking like that house. And so this man fixed the outside and the inside without a power drill. He did everything by hand. He built a ladder with wood, climbed up from the bottom, to the top of the house and fix the stuff up there. The only power drill, or, thing that he had in his arsenal was this thing that like nicked the chip at the brick that was up top, because he had to put cement on it in order to stick that pretty like stucco, but it was like stone. He had to use that to put the stucco to stick the stone up. That's the only thing. I watched him for the whole summer, from like spring up until the end of summer. This man had no power drills, and he was determined. He transformed that house, man. I walked in that house. House was immaculate. And I don't know if y'all could see it on here. He did all of that. I don't know if you could see it. I hope you can't really see it, but he did. Nonetheless, he did a whole rehab himself, okay? I was over there like, people on the block was like this in amazement just watching him like, yo, he really done did this whole house. No power drills. Nonetheless, where there's a will, there's a way, right? And so, I'm sorry, 1 second. So all I'm saying is get that networking. When you get a chance, get you some cards. What's AF Trekking Lock? I don't know what the heck that is, but it's trekking something on my phone. All right. Get yourself some cards. Network. When you network, give your cards to people. And when, like, I needed to write something on the back, I was able to write on the back of these. But I would suggest go to Vistaprint, go to Canva, create a card, and then do it in advance so that you can print it out and it'll be cheap. Don't do what I did, because that was, like I said, I don't get this one out. I just left it in my, I knew I still had it in my bag. That's why I went and grabbed it. But at the time, it worked for me. At the time, it was what I needed and what I was able to do. And so don't despise small beginnings, because you never know how things will work out for you. I mean, and like I said, that's a testimony for me that I did that. Like, I was determined. And when I tell you, I was networking, I was getting people's information, and I'm still in contact with people, right? And people still call me and say, hey, we're doing a networking event on this day. Are you going to come? I've met other people. I've met people more advanced than I am, and some that don't know as much as I know. And mind you, I don't think I know much of anything, because I'm new to the space too. Then when I found a family member that's doing the same thing, then we're bouncing off of each other. Yo, what you think about this? Yo, what you think about that? She doing a deal. You make sure you being handled right with this deal, right? So, I come in like the heavy, she come in like the soft. And then, in reality, she running the show. But they don't know that. They don't know that. But we over here running them like, you ain't running her like this, I need to make sure. But she wound up getting, So my thing is, find your support. No matter what, find your support system. Be a sponge. Close your mouth a lot of times and be like, oh, I know this already. I know that. Close your mouth. Take in. Be willing to take risk. You have to take major risk and not be afraid. A lot of times we are like stagnated because we're like, well, what if this happened? What if that happened? You just have to jump out there. And if it work out, it work out. If it don't work out, now one thing I will say is you pray about it, right? Pray about what you're trying to do, and ask God, hey, Lord, I need you to lead me. And if this is not meant for me to not have, then don't let it work out for me. Don't let it work out. But if it's meant for me to have, allow it to be with ease. Allow it to come in a way that I know that I'm supposed to do it. Now, there are some things where you have to push past that door because like, this no ain't really a no. Sometimes you'll know that. But sometimes it'll be like, you don't really want this. I'm going to go ahead and block you here. And that happened with me. And I had with a situation. And I had to fight. When I tell you I had to fight, I had to fight for this. And I was able to win through the process. And I was able to get everything that I was able to obtain through this property with this property. But there are some times when that no is like, the door is like, boom, that door is shut. But then there's other times when you like, it's something blocking me. No, this ain't my real no. You have to stay sensitive to the Spirit of God, because God will tell you, and I don't want to make this about God, but God will show you and tell you, like, I already gave that to you in your hands. Why you don't have it now? And so a lot of times you gotta have an ear to listen to what God is saying. I ain't talking about the universe. I'm talking about the Father God, Father, right? Have an ear to hear what he's saying, because you want him to order your steps, to direct your steps. It will be a horrible situation if your steps were not directed. You purchase properties and he was like, I ain't tell you to purchase it, and things crumble in your hands because you didn't get direction before you went out. So it is always best to pray and ask God to guide and order your steps. But also, Lord, is this in your will? Once he give you the okay, you do everything possible to get it. Because guess what? He's going to eventually make it work. And then if it's still acting crazy, you say, all right, Lord, how do I align? How do I align so that I can get to where I need to be? Because it would be damaging to just work and try to grab stuff, and you just grabbing stuff and it's not really benefiting you. You get a property that you got to keep putting money into. You working backwards. So I'm gonna come up with another video and I'm gonna show you about the next steps that you need to do once you want to find a property, where you want to look at one, and what are those steps that come after that. But right now, in the beginning phase, you have to learn to be a sponge, be willing to take risks, and certain qualities that you have to have. You have to be persistent. You have to be persistent. You have to keep going at it, even when it don't look right. I'm telling you, I'm dealing with some stuff right now that I want to be like, throw my hands up. But the only hands that's going up is up in praise to say, Lord, I thank you. Because I know it's going to work out. I know it's going to work out. So I'm saying all of that to say you also have to become sensitive. I can't stress it. You have to allow God to be the CEO. To you be the worker. You be the worker and let him be the CEO. That's the easiest thing you could do. God, you got this. Tell me what I need to do. What's my next step? We do it at our job every day. The boss tell you what to do, you do it. Why, when this boss tell you what to do, you act like you don't want to do it? No, do the same thing. And it makes your life just a lot easier. So, just start looking at what areas you want to be in. Look at what is my exit strategy? How do I want to get out of these properties? Do I want long term? Do I want short term? Do I want to fix and flip? What is my strategy? Do I fix and hold and then a couple of them and then fix and flip one? Do I fix and flip a couple and then hold some? What is my strategy? How am I going to get out of this property at the end of the day? Or how am I going to get a turnaround or a return on interest? That's their language. That's the language of the real estate. How am I going to get a return on interest at the end of the day? So these are some of the things you got to think about. And these are some of the things that you have to start implementing and putting in place. Yep. That's some of the things you got to put in place. But I just wanted to hop on real quick and kind of give you all that information, talk to you guys real quick about some of the most important things. Is definitely being a sponge, definitely willing to take risks, becoming persistent, and if you're going to, because this is you're doing this on your time. I don't know, some people do it full time, some people do it part time. Me, I'm doing this part time until I'm able to do it full time. But I'm just saying, figure out how to make God your CEO and you become the employee of God. That's it. Consistency and get started. Start looking at what exit strategy you want. How do I want to do this? How do I want to play this? So I just wanted to hop on to tell y'all that. I'll be back and we'll talk more about what's next and the next steps. Peace.